In the age of darkness, it doesn't matter what legion you're fielding, every army could do with a Saturnine Dreadnought. On the box art, we can see that this armoured behemoth is depicted in the colours of the Salamanders Legion. Green armour, and not to mention those awesome lava-patterned Saturnine plates. Seeing just how fitting the scheme is for this model may leave you thinking, this Dreadnought doesn't fit in with the aesthetic of my Legion. But that's totally where you're wrong. Not only does this kit provide several different building options, like different heads, but it also allows you to create a stalwart loyalist or a menacing traitor war engine. But also those huge armoured flat panels provide the perfect canvas to display some Legion personality and Legion iconography. Whether that be Magma for Salamanders, Scales for Alpha Legion, or Hazard Stripes for the Iron Warriors. And that segue takes us straight into today's video. Stick around to see me paint the Saturnine Dreadnoughts in the colour scheme of the 4th Legion, the Iron Warriors. The paints I'm using are on screen now, but remember that these are just the ones I've picked out, so you can totally use anything you like. And same again for the brushes and extra equipment that you see here. Something I often do on my models is leave the parts I want to add hazard stripes to aside as sub-assemblies. I find that this makes painting them much easier, and I'll show you why later. But for now, I'm just keeping this big armoured plate from the Dreadnought's right shoulder safe to one side. As for the main bulk of the model, I'm starting off with an undercoat of Leadbelcher spray. If you don't have Leadbelcher spray, that's totally fine. Chaos Black is a great alternative. You'll obviously just have to paint the silver over the top afterwards. But I cannot emphasise enough just how awesome Leadbelcher spray is for this colour scheme. Already the armour and the sections in between, like those huge leg pistons, are fully base coated. Which means that I can move straight over to painting all the areas I want to be black using Abaddon Black. So that's areas like the weapon casing, shoulder plates and the eyes. But you can obviously paint whatever areas you like. With 2 thin layers done, I'm moving on to the really fun bit. Next, I'm applying an all-over shade using Nuln Oil. I like to mix in some Lahmian Medium first to help it flow better, but you'll notice that applying a shade over a metallic undercoat just feels great and it behaves exactly how we want it to. You can see how it's darkening all the recesses down whilst leaving those flat raised areas relatively clean. After 30 minutes of drying time, the shade looks great and now I'm ready to move on. Next, I'm applying an all-over dry brush using Stormhost Silver. Now, I'm applying it all over, but I am being a little more light over the black areas. These areas will show the dry brush way more, so I want the effect to be more subtle on them. But with that done, the main body of this huge model is already complete. But before we paint the remaining details, let's add those hazard stripes. So on my sub-assembly parts here, I've gone ahead and base coated it in Avalon Sunset. Then I'm applying some masking tape, adding some Abaddon Black, and blammo, some awesome looking hazard stripes done super quickly. If you're after a more detailed explanation on painting hazard stripes, I made a video all about it you can go check out if you're interested. With those iconic hazard stripes added, I can now glue the sub-assembly parts back to the rest of the model. Up next is the trim. You can use any colour for the trim that you want to. Iron Warriors look great with so many different coloured golds and bronzes. But today my trim colour of choice is Runelord Brass. I'm applying 2 layers of this to all the trim as well as any other details that I can see. I'm also picking out the plasma coils with this paint, and if you'd like to paint a plasma glow effect instead on your model, Dan's made a great video all about it that you can go check out. Now that all those Runelord Brass sections have been painted, I'm shading them with Agrex Earthshade. I'm trying my best here not to get any of this onto the silver details, but a little overspill is okay. With that done, I'm bringing back out the Stormhost Silver to highlight all the Runelord Brass sections. This time round I'm using a small layer brush to be a little bit more precise, but you could instead use a dry brush here if you prefer. And with that done, you could skip straight to basing and call your Saturnine Dreadnought finished. But I've got some more paints planned for this guy before I'm happy to call him done, so if you're interested, stick around for some extra tips. First up, I'm using Druchii Violet to add a cool purple tint to the end of the disintegrator barrel. Looks awesome, nice and easy. Iron Warriors are known for being quite grimy and battle scarred. My Saturnine Dreadnought is looking a little too factory new for me, so I'm going to add a recessed shade of dirt using Doomball Brown. I'm mixing it in with some Lahmian Medium first to create a shade consistency, and then I'm going to go around the whole model picking out all the recesses. This is quite time consuming, but it's totally worth it. See, definitely the longest stage so far, but I really love the effect it creates. With that done, let's paint the eyes. Now, because this scheme is pretty simple, I want to spend a little bit extra time on the small details like the face. So I'm going to make those eyes look really awesome and use a few extra paints than normal. First up, I'm base coating each lens using Khorne Red, but I am leaving a small amount of black showing in the corners like so. With that done, I'm adding Evilsun's Scarlet in each lens towards the centre of the face. So what should be happening here is that each lens is slowly going from dark to light. I'm finishing them off with a tiny amount of Fire Dragon Bright, and then a tiny dot of Corax White in the opposite corner too. And blammo, some awesome looking eye lenses for this Saturnine Dreadnought. I think taking small details like this to the next level is a great way of making your minis really stand out. I'm super close to finishing this Dreadnought now. I just need to apply the transfers. There's no right or wrong place to put them, but those huge shoulder pads are a great area to show off some Legion personality. With the transfers done, I'm going to bring the whole model together with some light sponge weathering using Rhinox hide. I've just got a small amount of Rhinox hide here on some sponge, and I'm just gently dabbing it across the whole model and the transfers. The stuff inside the Warhammer carry cases is great for this. Once I'm satisfied with the effect, all that's left to do is base your model to match the rest of your army. And there we are, an unstoppable Saturnine Dreadnought of the Iron Warriors, ready to stomp its way across Istvan V. Well, that's all from me. I hope you've enjoyed this video and it's shown you that this brand new awesome Dreadnought can be used not just for the Salamanders, but also for the Iron Warriors and any other Legion that you can think of. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, bye-bye!